Well, I'll be. Look at this. Rain. Blimey. I ain't seen rain in months. But we love it. We love it. Anyway, that could cause a bit of a problem, but we'll have a look at that in a minute. I've only bring one mini motor car today, because I was going to bring two. I was going to bring along the, what do you call it? The Savage Octane. I was going to bring the Savage Octane, and I was going to bring the Hyper 7, but I see all the rain, and I thought to myself, Jesus, man, I don't want to be getting that all wet. I don't want to be getting it wet. I just don't want to be getting it wet, alright? I just don't. Just don't. So, oh, we're going here. Oh, this would be a good one. Yep, we're going here. Oh yeah, this looks like a good one. Right. So I've rang just the Hyper 7, but, well, there's no buts. That's it, simple as that. Just I rang that and that is that. Now, I'm just driving around trying to find the best drained car park. These car parks are fairly well drained. I mean, to be fair, the drainage in these car parks is pretty good in general. There's not really many puddles, and because it's like a stony shingly kind of thing, it does. Well, I know it's hard underneath. I'm not stupid, but you know, it doesn't seem, they don't tend to be all that wet. So we should be pretty good in a little car park like this one here. I think I've picked a good one here. We could go to another one. Oh, bloody hell. Oh yeah. We could go to another one, but I think this one's probably going to be a good one. Oh, there's roadworks going on in this one. Picked a car park with roadworks. How unusual is that? Yeah, I think we'll pick this one. I'm not very happy today. I'm not very happy at all today, because I've got something in my eye. Nah, I'm fine. I was going down the road, and all of a sudden, I just something in my eye. I'm going like that. You know when you get something in your eye, you're driving along, and you're like, ah, and you're trying to blink, but you can't. And then this eye started watering, so now I'm like looking around, going, oh my God, I can't see anything. I hope there's no roundabouts coming up, you know. And you're like, oh man. Anyway, I got it out, but it's still in there a little bit. Don't know what it is. Perhaps it's a fly. I've got a fly in my eye. Anyway, let's find somewhere nice to park in this car park. What the hell is that? Just saw Bigfoot. Jesus Christ. Can't believe how good of a day it is. Even though it is slightly pitter-pattering with rain, it's still quite a nice day. Can't complain about it whatsoever. Anyway, what have we got? I'll tell you what we've got. We've got a Hyper 7 today. It's the one that I got off my friend who? No, that's not the right word. Not who. And I got it going, didn't I? In that video, which was described as one viewer as a shit show. He said this was a shit show, but I loved it. I said good. I don't care, as long as you loved it. That's all that matters. So Hyper 7, lovely buggy. As we know, that video where I got it running was a little bit of a disaster. It was all right, but I did accidentally, I mean, sometimes I do break stuff on purpose just for the fun of it, but I didn't break that needle on purpose. I broke that by mistake. I leant on it and I broke it, trying to do stuff, and I leant on the carburetor holding the transmitter, and it snapped off the high-speed needle. And then I was trying to find a high-speed needle to try and nicking it off of other carburetors to try and screw it onto the Hobao carburetor that come on the Mach 28, but I couldn't find one that fitted. For some reason they're all too fat, the threads are too fat, and on that carburetor on the Mach 28 it's a very skinny little thread. So I was like, why ain't it working? So then I had an idea. Let's have a look for a carburetor on an engine that will fit. Got to be the slidey throttle, can't be the twisty throttle. got to be big enough, because if the carburetor's too small, it won't feed enough fuel and air into the engine, and it just won't run properly. It won't have as much power as it should do. It just won't be very good. If the carburetor's too big, which won't be the case for these engines, but in general, if a carburetor's too big for an engine, it'll feed too much air, too much fuel. You won't be able to set it up properly, even if you lean it right out and all this other bollocks. You need a carburetor which is matched, or a good size for the engine that you're putting it on. That's a rule of thumb, but not necessarily right, because those of you that know engines know that you can mix and match carburetors. But let's just not get off topic, and let's not confuse the people who don't know. Just because that's a terrible habit that humans have. Humans have terrible habits of trying to instill their own thinkings on other people. You know, no, you must not do that. You must not do that. If you do that, you're stupid. No, I was at work once, and this bloke had a nice Volvo 440, I think it was, or an 840. I think it was an 840, big estate Volvo, an oldish one. And it was lovely, reliable. He loved it, I loved it, good car. And everyone else, all the Romanians and that, were going, you should not have this car. You should not have this car. It is for grandmother's car, grandmother's car. Get a BMW, like my car, BMW. Get a BMW, perfect car, good car. For young people like us, car. And I see him in the canteen, the bloke with the Volvo, a couple of days later, and he's looking at cars on his telephone. I said, you're going to get a new car? He said, yeah, well, everyone doesn't like my car, so I'm going to get a new one. I said, do you like your car? Do you like your car? He said, yeah, it's a good car. It's been reliable. I enjoy driving it. Does everything I need it to do. I said, well, don't listen to them dickheads then. You like it, you keep it. He said, but they don't like it. I said, doesn't matter if they like it. This is an example, man. It's not an example, it's the truth, but it's an example of people trying to bully other people into having things like them, you know. It's because them Romanian people, because they had BMWs. They all had BMWs, don't know why, but all of them had BMWs, new BMWs, probably on finance, up to their eyeballs in debt. Either that, drug money, don't know. But this poor bloke with his Volvo 840, older one, loved it. Feels like he has to get a new car to please the other people. Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. It's nice to please other people and keep other people happy, but do what you want to do. That's the thing. Keep you happy. Unless it comes to the wife. When it comes to the wife, she is foremost. She must be kept happy, even if you are unhappy. That is the rule of marriage. It's not the rule of marriage. It's not. You need to both be happy, but sometimes my little jokes, people don't take. People don't. They think I'm serious. So now I have to outline that I am not serious, which is pointless really, because I can't make jokes. Right. I have bought an engine heater just in case. I don't know what this engine's like. I don't know whether it likes a bit of heat. So I did buy one. I did bring one. Buy one? I didn't buy one. I brought one. Right. Now, this little thumb trigger. This little thumb switch on this transmitter. Hold it like that. Someone said to me in the last video, because I was telling it, whoever designed this is a cock, is what I said. Someone said in the other video, you know the button's there, so just keep your thumb away from it. Because I kept flicking the switch by mistake with my thumb. Because look, you just, when you're resting, you hold it like that, don't you? And your thumb is over that switch. And you just knock it. It's very sensitive. It's, you know, you can hold it like that, but then because you forget, don't you? You just forget, you put it back, you go blip, 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 blip. Bloody hell, you know? It's not, you know, it's there. It is in the wrong position. I understand why they put it there. It's for ease of access. You can just go, yep, whenever you want to do, but you knock it by mistake. It is a silly design. Either that or keep it there, but a bit more difficult to push. Anyway, let's stop talking about imperfections and get this Hyper 7 on the roll. So now I said I said to someone the other day, right, we was talking about common etiquette, about holding doors open for people. It's a common thing in England. It's what we do. In America and all that, you don't do. I don't know. You might do. I don't know. You open doors for people. You hold doors open for people in shops and other places, wherever you are. Let people through before you. Always put other people before yourself. When it comes to ladies, always put ladies first. And I said to him, I said, you know why we always say ladies first? And this I'm talking to a younger chap now. I don't know what he is. I think he's 17 or so. He's quite young. He is young. He's 17 or so. And I said, do you know why? Well, he said, why do we always say ladies first? I said, it's just politeness, isn't it? Because ladies are better than men. They're, you know, we respect the women, so we say ladies first. But it's also because if we say ladies first, it means we can watch their bottoms as they're walking in front of us. And I think he believed me. I think he believed me. I don't know. I like little things like that. Little jokes like that. That's what makes me laugh. Makes the world go round. Oh, you can't be too serious in life. You can't be too serious in life. Right. I like it when it rains. It makes me happy. Having said that, I'm happy most of the time. Where's the transmitter? There it is. Let's turn on the old transmitter. Radio gear is active. Happy days. Throttle. Yep. We've established that don't go all the way to full throttle, I don't think. No, it's not quite getting full throttle, but I can set that up later on. Let's just make sure that the engine's running alright and everything's okay, and then I'll adjust the throttle linkages afterwards. I've brought the glow starters that come with it. I've charged them up. We'll see if they're going to work any good. I was going to say any well then. God, man, I think there's something wrong with me. There's definitely something wrong with me. I can't speak recently for some reason. Yeah, so that's that. Primage. Trying for a good time. As the old paedophile used to say. Put in the comments if back in the day, back in 2010 or so, you was watching on YouTube David's Farm. That was a good channel, but he turned out to be a paedophile and he went to prison, so that was the bad thing. But before that, that was a good channel. He's in Canada somewhere, and he had a big load of land, and he just bought loads of old cars, chopped the exhausts off, and just raced them around and did good stuff. A good channel. What inspired me, really. Until I found out he was a paedophile, and I thought, Jesus Christ, what has this world come to? I just don't know. Maybe that one doesn't work. Let's try this one. Well, the little needle's gone all the way to the green, so it might work, I don't know. It might want heating up. I bring a spare glow plug just in case as well. I shouldn't think it would want heating in this weather. It's about 20 degrees today. And I've got a jumper on. It's only because it was raining. And I didn't fancy getting soaking wet, so I stuck a jumper on. I'm actually sweating. I'm actually properly hot. I'm actually properly sweating. So I'm going to take this jumper off in a minute. Right, we'll let that heat up a little bit. It might want heating, it might not. That glow plug might. That was a new glow plug I put in there. But it might have had it. But I think these work. We'll have a look. We'll do a little bit of testing. Right. Let's see. It's been heating for a little while now. It's got enough heat on it. Might need a bit of cooking, maybe. I have no idea. Let's have a look at this glow plug. That's a new one in it, and I've banged some new ones as well, just in case. Let's see whether this blue one works. Oh, excuse me. Oh, the blue one is working. Although not very well, look. It's on the red. But it's glowing. So, I know the plug works. The starter isn't all that good. The purple one, all the way on the green, can't go no further than that. And it is glowing. So we know that plug works. It's not very good at the end, but it is working. Just for comparison, not that one. Let's try. Oh, not that one either. Where's it gone? Oh, you cock! Didn't put my other one in. Must have put it on charge and didn't put it in. This one's working. Yeah, so we've got 3 glow plugs, and we know the plug itself is working, and we've got 3 glow starters that work. Out of curiosity, is this one working? Where's it gone? Oh no. There it is. Oh, I lost it then. There it is. Oh, I can't do this too much. Right. Stick that in there. Feel a bit better today. Yesterday I spent all day. I've got an old Talbot motorhome that I'm slowly restoring. I put a new radiator in it, and I mended the heater matrix valve yesterday, but I drank a bit too much antifreeze and I was feeling so unwell yesterday. But today I feel brilliant, so great. Let's carry on with life. Nearly. Right, here we go then. Mach 28 Hyper 7 with an OS. I don't know what brand, what model, but it's got an OS Carb on it. No tuning yet. First run in a few years. Great, absolutely great. Thank you very much. Appreciate that massively. Right, now has a bloody tick over screw. Right, that's too far. That's too far in, so that's got to come out a little bit. Oh, I forgot to do the bloody... forgot to do the valve. Oh, you cock. You cock. Right. Now what happened was... not valve, needle. What happened was... the rubbers, the O-ring's gone in this one. Oh, piss off. The O-ring's gone on it. It's a bit too easy to turn, so what happens is it'll richen itself out. I've got to put a new O-ring on it, but that's all right. I'll sort that out later on in life. Far too easy to turn. We'll turn these in a little bit because I want to get this. I want to get it so it'll tick over. Right, self. So we'll just get these screws. There. Too lean now. Still too lean, Johnny boy. Who the hell is Johnny boy? Still too lean. Johnny boy. You bastard. Let me just fix my hat. There we go. This camera is on my hat, on my head, and it was a bit loose and it kept flopping around, and I was like, Jesus man, what's going on here? No, I said it's too low. Turn it up a little bit. Okay, no problem. I will do. Right, let's see where we are now then. Ahoy! Oh yes! HYPER7 madness. Something tells me the back wheels are driving. You bastard. Hang on. Stuff these wires back in there. Stuff them in there. It's getting a little bit dirty, isn't it? What's that all about? Stop getting dirty. How many times have I told you? Don't get dirty. Right. Let's let's adjust this one ever so slightly. The balance, getting a carburetor right it's just a balancing act. That's all it is. You've got to balance the two high and low needles and the tick over. Really, the tick over screw should be set and not really moved. Then you need to get the tick over with balancing the high and the low needles and getting it to run right at the same time. So it is a bit of it's balancing, that's all it is. I'm just checking to make sure you're still recording, because I've done that many times, standing here talking to myself and you're not even there, like you've left the building. But you're here, so that's good. So yeah, it's just a balancing act. It'll take a little bit of time to get it there, but once we get it there, we'll be rocking and rolling. You bastard. I think it's a little bit lean on the low end now, so I'll just do that. And then we'll do that. Some people's method, not all's, some's, is to take off the air filter boot or pipe, measure the gap for the throttle slide at about 1 mil, and that's where they leave it. You could do that if you wanted to, there's no reason why not, but I just would rather just adjust it until it runs right. I don't really care about the size of the gap, I just want it to run. You bastard. apart from the tick over, it's running pretty well. We will get there, just to please some of you. Look, let's have a look. Yeah, see, look, that's bigger than about a mil. So let's try. Let's put this. It does work, I just don't know how to do it this way. Let's turn that down to about there somewhere. About there. So look, we're not quite getting full throttle. There's full throttle. So we're not quite getting full. I just need to adjust this ever so slightly, and then we'll be getting full throttle. Takes a little while to go back there, but that'll suck itself back in. Anyway, let's put that back on. Let's see what kind of jam donuts we get. Not a lot, Johnny boy, not a lot. Your tick over will change when you adjust your needles, so that's what you do. Something tells me it's not going to be like that for this one. I'm holding the throttle at the moment. With that gap that small, it weren't ticking over, so made it bigger. Let's not worry about what other people say, and let's just do what works for me, which is this. No one cares about what other people say. Too low, you bastard. No one cares about what other people. Are you still recording? Jesus. It's just doing. You ain't doing well no more. I dropped you. My mistake. Put you back on there like that. Hopefully you can still see. Yeah. No one cares about what other people say. You got to do what works for you, and having that gap that small didn't work. So let's make it a gnat's cock bigger. How much? About a quarter of a tank of nitro left. Front wheels are definitely doing more driving than the back. Mine's like a dream though. I'll tell you what though, it is a lovely engine. It really is a lovely engine. I just need to spend a bit more time getting a good tune on it, but I haven't got the time today. We're running out of time now, so this last little bit will be it. reckon. Assuming you can still see it though. Wonderful. Wonderful. Let's run this last little bit of nitro out. Oh dear. Yeah, it needs a bit more time spent on it. Don't forget the little rubber O-rings on the high speed and the low speed are perished. So it's never going to be perfect. But I think this is great. This is all you want, really. That low speed's winding itself out. I can tell it is. Yeah, that low speed was winding itself out. Now it's too lean. Don't know how much of that you saw towards the end there, because the battery ran out on the GoPro and I didn't even know. Usually it beeps at me, but it didn't. I think it's getting so bad that it just drops off a cliff and it doesn't even have time to bleep at me anymore. It just goes bloop, falls asleep. Anyway, run out of nitro now. But yeah, it's running like a dream. It really is running well, especially with that carburetor. It needs a lot more time on it, really tuning it, just to get it right. But I think it runs more than good enough to call it a success at the moment. So I'm pretty happy with that. Happy days, man. It couldn't be happier, really. Really couldn't. You know, when you just get that feeling of just success and you just think, that worked out really, really well. So there we go. Put it all back together, get on with my day. I've got a lot more to do on that Talbot. I really have. I really have got a lot more to do. If you're interested in old motorhomes, Talbot Expresses and things like that, or working on real full-size cars, I'll put a link, if I remember. I probably won't remember. I'll put a link in this video to that video of when I mended the heater matrix. And I put a radiator in it last weekend and things like that. Just little bits. So it might be a bit different from RC cars, real full-size cars and things. It might be a bit of a different change for you. Maybe you like that sort of thing, I don't know. Who knows? Right. Bloody slippery. Right then, you lot. That is that. We've had a lovely morning. It was raining all morning and it stopped pretty much just as soon as I got here, which was brilliant. And we had a good time. That HYPER7 runs like a dream. I know a lot of you are going to say it and you're going to think it definitely needs more tuning. I've said it and it does need more tuning, but we've done enough where we can establish it runs well. The engine is in good health, the buggy itself is in good health, there's nothing wrong with it, so that is good enough for me. When I get the next chance, I'll bring it out again and I'll spend some actual time on it, actually tuning it properly, doing proper tuning with actual fuel, because that nitro that I put in it was 25%, but I think it had a bit of a mixture of 30 and a bit of 16 probably in it as well, because there was a little bit in the bottom of the bottle. I'm pretty sure there was a bit of 30 in there, so it wasn't pure nitro, but we all know that that is just the way life goes. Nothing is ever perfect. Thanks for watching. Treat people nice, treat people like you want to be treated. Don't try and change people just to suit you. Accept people for who they are and we'll all have a good life. Cheerio, you lot. Thanks for watching. Is it just me, or does it frustrate you when disabled people think they're special because they're disabled? They're not. They're the same as everyone else. I just parked in the car park where I am here now, down the road, just down there, there's disabled ones, and there's a cute, like, the cars. So I sat there for a bit, had the window open, and I could hear what them two disabled people in cars were arguing, because one of the disabled, well, there's more than two, there's about 8 disabled spots, but this one person wanted the end one, but one car was already parked in the end one, and they was arguing. I need the end one, but they're all the same size. I'm telling you now, they're all exactly the same size. The disabled spots, yeah, the space around them to get wheelchairs out of is exactly the same. I want the end one, he's going. But the one that's already in it is going, well, I've got a wheelchair. The one that wanted the end one just didn't have a wheelchair, it turns out. Well, I haven't. Well, I've got a wheelchair, so I need the end one. They're all the same. And I've noticed as well, people who are disabled think that it's a privilege to park in a disabled parking space. It's not a privilege, is it? You know, they're just bigger spaces because you need a little bit more space to get out. You know, if you're fat or something, you need to... Because these days fat people are also classed as disabled. I know 2 or 3 people, there's nothing wrong with them, they're just fat. And they've managed to get themselves a blue badge to put in their car, which illegally allows them to park in disabled spaces. Because they can't get out the car door in a normal space because they're too fat. It's not a privilege, it's just something that you need. People who make car parks provide spaces with more room around them for disabled people. You might be too fat, you might not be very mobile, so you've got to open your car door all the way to get out easily. You might have a wheelchair. Same for parent and child, you know. I don't like it when people think it's a privilege. They go, well, I'm disabled. You know, I'm disabled. You're no more special than anyone else. It's unfortunate that you're disabled. I solely wish that you wasn't disabled. But you are. But it's not a privilege. You just need a bigger space, you know. But people who park in disabled spots who are not disabled, you're right, they're cocks. They can park in any other spaces. The normal car parks spaces are far too small for modern day cars, but that's irrelevant to this topic. I just find it annoying when people, they need to point out that they're disabled. Oh, I'm disabled. As if they're special, above everyone else, just because they're disabled. You're the same as everybody else. If you're disabled, I'm sorry, but you are. But it's normal, I say normal, but other people who are not disabled should have respect for people who are disabled and give them space and let them, obviously don't take the disabled spaces, because it's just out of order. It just frustrates me when people think, oh, I'm disabled, I'm better than you, I'm special, I need to park in a special space. Piss off, go somewhere else. I don't know. I sit here and I watch. I like people watching. I watch people's mannerisms, people's ways, and I just think to myself, some people, I don't understand why they think they're better than other people, but they do. There's a name for it. I'm not going to go into the politics of it, but I'm not going to go into it. But there's names and phrases and things for people who are like that. And not cock either. Anyway, cheerio you lot. I thought I'd add that into the end of this video. Come to the shops after doing that little HYPER7, and I'm sitting here waiting for the shop to open, looking at people getting in and out of their cars and arguing. There's spaces galore, but people are still arguing over specific spaces. Unbelievable. See you later, you lot.